Can they have emotions? Can they have human feelings like humans? And that's one of the problems in that film. In Matrix, you know, what is the reality of the Matrix? Are we in real world, or are we in a virtual world, a kind of computer space? Now, philosophy of mind, what is the relationship between our mind and our body? This is Ridley Scott, a movie by Ridley Scott, Blade Runner. I recommend it, very moving, where you have like robots, replicas, like human beings, and they have feelings too. There is a woman, there is a man who falls in love with a replica, and she says, oh, am I a replica? She doesn't understand that she has to die. I mean, that she has to die very soon. And they kill replicas because the replicas revolt against human beings. So science fiction gives you such ideas. Now, have you seen the Truman Show? Yes, where somebody who is isolated in a kind of world where he's protected and he wants to get out, but he doesn't realize that it's not a real reality. It's like a reality show. They have him in the reality show. So they make him believe that he's living in real life. And it's not a real life. It's all set up. Okay. Rashomon is a wonderful old Japanese movie, Akira Kurosawa, where there is a crime and there are 6 people or 5 people, they give different versions. They say, what happened? Somebody was raped, a woman was raped and killed. And then there is one witness says, this thing happened. No, says the other thing happened. And so they cannot agree on what happened. And so that's a question of objectivity of knowledge. I mean, do we have objective knowledge? Can we agree on what actually happened? Now, do you have any questions? I mean, I cannot really develop, we're going to waste the whole time if I develop the details of the movies, but do you get my point? So when you go back home and when you teach and you watch, I hope you like the cinema. Now, if you don't like the cinema, then we have trouble. If you don't, but if you watch movies, you can select and say, that's a good movie I can use in my class. And in your free time or in the classroom, you can say, okay, kids, let's watch this movie. Let's watch Truman Show. And tell me.
And there are movies for very small children too. Yes. Obviously, you certainly know that. It presents the same problems.
Yes, yes, yes.
There are much movies with the same concepts of the just named movies. But aren't they that good as this one?
Well, that's a good question. As I told you 5 minutes ago, here I'm not that interested in the quality of the movie. That is because I'm using them. But it's better to choose good movies too in order to impress and cultivate the children, give them aesthetic education. Also, you want them to have bad taste. I could take a serial on TV. There are some silly, stupid serials. And the stupid serials sometimes ask good questions. And so you can use them, Greek TV, I mean, Turkish TV. I mean, in Greece we have lots of Turkish serials. They are very popular. And they are basically they are love stories. But sometimes there are dilemmas in these stories. And these moral dilemmas are real and important. And so you can even use one of those. You know, what may happen is that if you go to your students and you show this, Rashomon, or you show this, they may say it's too difficult. Space Odyssey is difficult. It's long, it's 2 hours and a half. This Rashomon is not so difficult, but it's old, it's black and white, it's sort of old-fashioned. And some kids may say, oh, don't show us now Rashomon, Japanese samurai, and so on. Maybe they find it exotic and they like. Maybe they don't, you know. So to play it safe, maybe you choose something more popular. But trust me, there are many, many good films. And if you write to me later and you say, I would like to teach this, what would you recommend? I can recommend. And I can recommend books with a whole list of films, which you can find easily now in the internet. You can download them. You can get them very easily. It's illegal to download them actually. You steal them from the internet. My students do that all the time. They send me books and films and they say, oh, I found that. I say, well, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay? Maybe I use it. But you can order it. And you know, in Greece, I don't know about other countries, many newspapers on Sunday, in order to sell, they also offer a movie, a DVD, and I have made a collection of very good Fellini, for instance, and Antonioni movies, Italian movies, from DVDs that
We can say, if we return to the question, if you use bad movies or not so nice books, they're easier to have a distance and see the problem more clearly.
yes.
Like Lippmann's novels, it's not so very literary good, so you can have a distance and reflect upon them more easily.
Because if they are very good, you are absorbed by the quality, by the very good quality, and instead of discussing the philosophical problem, you admire the book or you admire the movie. But my opinion, however, is that for the training of the students and the education of the students, it's good to show good ones too. No, don't just show, or trust them. Look, you don't give them some very difficult novel. For instance, a story, a novella that I use concerning the problem of death. And when I teach philosophy, I always do it. And I think it can work at all levels. Although it's simple, but it's very well done. It's Ivan Ilyich, The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Tolstoy. And there is this. This is not cinema, okay? This is literature. Tolstoy, The Death of Ivan Ilyich. So this one, try it. It's great. Huh? It's very good. The Death of Ivan Ilyich. And there is a Japanese film.
Well, I think we should
Which
move on.
okay, let's move on. But I have some more here. Ethics, applied ethics. Euthanasia, let's see inside. Gattaca, which is cloning. Never Let Me Go, cloning. Insider, business ethics. The Life of David Gale, its death penalty. Cold Blood. These are films that you can use to talk about euthanasia, cloning, and this is also about cloning and issues, moral issues about cloning. Insider is business ethics. It's a true story, this one, with Al Pacino, I think. With somebody, Russell Crowe, and I think Al Pacino comes at the end. The Life of David Gale, which is a very good film about death penalty. And also this is based on a famous story on death penalty. So, issues about life and death, the existence of God, human relations, very depressing movies, the impossibility of love, fear of death. Okay, Seventh Seal, Bergman, that's the movie, one of the greatest movies in the history of cinema, one of the 10 best movies, very good movie, but I would use it because it's very impressive. It's Bergman, The Seventh Seal. This is also Bergman, Cries and Whispers, about human relations and erotic relations. This is Antonioni, La Notte, The Night, which is very good also about fear of death and also the possibility of love. And this is the Japanese movie, which reminds me of Ivan Ilyich Tolstoy. Now, what about art? What is the importance of art? How do we create artistic works? Not only cinema, but in it. This is Fellini, 8½. The American Night, this is Truffaut, François Truffaut, La Nuit Américaine, which is a film about making a film. How do you make a film? And Tarkovsky, Andrei Rublev, about the famous painter, a Russian painter of icons. And these movies make you think about artistic creation. If you want to teach the students, to make the students reflect, what is art? And how do we create art? These films will help you to do that. Okay. And now suppose you want to teach political philosophy and communism and criticism of communism and so on and so on. There is a movie that I recommend, 1900, Bertolucci, an Italian director. It's a kind of historical film of what was happening in Italy. Conversation pieces by another Italian director, Visconti. It's about revolution, terrorism, dilemmas, political dilemmas. And this is Fahrenheit, I think it's Truffaut again. It's a kind of science fiction in the future when people burn books because they don't want books. Books make people think, and